I guess just real quick, I'm gonna be super quick. It was a game that I kind of walked away very indifferent on. I got to play the game Trek to Yomi, which, from what I understand, it's a game that's been out for about a month now, and I was very kind of iffy on it. I think Phoenix might kind of like the aesthetic of the game because for me, I know Phoenix really liked the game Limbo, and aesthetically, in terms of like how it looks, to me it is very reminiscent of Limbo. It's kind of side scrollery at points, and it's very kind of dark and depressing, similar to that. So I don't know. I got very much Limbo vibes from it the entire time. I guess I'll just go straight into it. My biggest problem with the game is I felt like throughout my entire 5 hour run of it, I felt like it was very samey, and I felt like a lot of its themes were like something that kept running through my mind the entire time I was playing the game. It felt very how do you say the word? Is it homage or homage?
Homage.
Homage. It felt very homagey, where like it's all kind of it's very reminiscent.
It's like Kurosawa inspired, right?
Yeah, and Kurosawa-y. But yeah, it's hard to like explain the difference between like I appreciate the homageness. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word.
It is now.
I appreciate the homogenous aspect of the game, but I almost felt like to an extent it was kind of a detriment because I just felt like it wasn't very original. Like I don't know, like that idea, Phoenix. I felt like that might be something that might interest you. Like do you feel like sometimes a game paying homage or paying respect to something old or something that's not around? Do you feel like sometimes in certain games maybe that could play a detriment as to how original a game is or how many new ideas it brings to the table? Because I felt like for me that game, Trek to Yomi, it kind of did that because I didn't feel like the combat was particularly deep and really revolutionary in any sort of way. Like I felt like the main parts about the game that I loved were a lot of the cutscenes and the environment and kind of themes and all that. But once again, it's very much, I don't want to say cut and dry, but it was like it's a revenge story. You have your love, or I don't want to give
kind of cliche.
Yeah, it's kind of cliche. It's like, oh, the old, I don't want to give up, spoilers for people. But yeah, it's very much, it's a revenge story. It's, for my family,
Right.
But I don't know, do you think a game can kind of be a detriment by using homage stuff too much?
I think it really depends. I mean, if that was their goal, they wanted to have a game that was very much like an homage to something, then maybe they set out to achieve what they did. But
well, it's tough because you didn't play it, so
Well, a game that... Go ahead.
Something has to be a tribute, It doesn't have to be like a complete rip-off of something. I think that's where the balance is that you're not just like creating like a Control-C, Control-V copy of something, that you are, using elements and say, I enjoyed these things and I'd like to reuse them, but not like a straight up like,
and the game,
it didn't follow any new ideas.
And the game,
well, I guess too, like another game that kind of does a similar thing, especially with like Kurosawa. Like I know you didn't play it yet, but Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah. And that one definitely had some tributes and homages that I think were very akin to that, but it was very much its own thing. So I mean, yeah, I think what you're saying, JC, like it was a tribute, but it wasn't like copy and paste. So it sounds like this game doesn't have enough to kind of stand on its own. Like I think I've read somewhere the gameplay was just kind of meh. I mean, would you agree with that, or?
Yes, it's very, I mean, you only have really, like, you have a fast attack, a heavy attack, you have a block, and then they give you some ranged weapons. And honestly, I felt like by far the more fun things to use were the ranged weapons, which they even give you, like, almost like a shotgun at one point, but it's like I don't want to say medieval, because that's not that time frame, but it's like, a time sensitive based gun, or something around that time frame. But yeah, it just like the game kind of just goes where you'd expect it to go. I mean, I would say like the only true parts about the game that I actually really enjoyed were a couple of the boss fights, and some of them were interesting just in terms of like a couple of them were kind of ridiculous, but I don't know. It was just.
So you're not recommending it? Is that where this is going, or were the aesthetics and kind of the homaginess enough that
Yes.
somebody's maybe very much into Kurosawa would still appreciate this?
That's exactly my point is that, like, yes, if you're going in looking for some, I don't want to, I hate being kind of down on it. Like, I don't want to say not original, because I do get the feeling that their intention was homage. You know, someone clearly loved Kurosawa and all those old school movies. It just kind of was dark and like just it's kind of death everywhere, and it's just, I don't know. Like, I like games being dour sometimes, but it just felt like that game through and through was dour. I mean, it didn't help that I also feel like I got the bad ending, which the game does have multiple endings, and somehow I got the negative one. So I felt like that didn't help when like the entire experience is like a
nightmare. Just because you're bad at video games.
Yes. I mean, yes.
Couldn't get through the first boss in Elden Ring. You got stuck in Tunic multiple times. No,
in this game, I hit a difficulty spike and I turned it down to easy. I couldn't get past a part. I'm getting worse at games.
Take your card away, man.
I'm getting worse at games the older I get. It's to me problem, I think.
Fair enough.
But I think what was also more disappointing is kind of finding out that the game was developed by Devolver. I think like when you think Devolver Digital when it comes to developing games, most of the time I always think of like more bright, a lot of personality, can be wacky and also have like lots of blood and gore. But
was it Devolver developed or Devolver published?
Ooh, I don't know. I know
that's different. Like Devolver, I mean, they're a publisher. I mean, I don't know exactly what their development arm is. But and here's the thing: publishers are going to have hopefully a wide variety of different types of games. So
it was published by Devolver, so maybe they have more hands off a little bit.
No, it doesn't mean that they were hands off, but different studios are going to have their own style of creating a game. So it may not be in line with all the other Devolver games you play, but that's the nature of publisher. Not every Activision game is exactly the same. Not every EA game is exactly the same.
Can you get the screen up? I was playing the B-roll. I don't see it.
Yeah, I'll throw it up.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You got to switch to it. Okay. But yeah, like I said, it was just I don't know. It was fun. I will say it definitely, the 5-hour runtime for me was just at the point where I'm like, all right, I kind of get it. I'm ready to be done with this game. I definitely feel like after the first hour and a half, I was like, I gotcha. I get your kind of art style and everything. I will say one of the cool thing is because it's so homage-y, some of the camera angles and stuff are really cool because it's the camera doesn't it's not set on you. It's more placed somewhere in the world and kind of you move around and the camera doesn't move, so it definitely feels like there's a picturesque backdrop as you're doing things, and it is cool. I definitely think the one good thing is because of the game is so short, it's hard to say it's not worth the playthrough. Maybe if the game went on for 40 more hours, but if it's 5 hours, I would definitely say try it out if you're interested at all.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm looking at it. I've seen previews of it before, and I would play this for 5 hours, even if it was just a direct rip-off or homage to. I think it depends on what kind of mood you're in to play a game. If you're a big fan of Kurosawa, you could either go watch a Kurosawa flick, or you could play this and get it would be a new experience or a new way to interact with something that's within that realm of that genre or that style that you like. So I don't know. I haven't played it, so I don't know. I very much like Ghost of Tsushima, so just that theming I'm a fan of. So I'm actually, I don't know. What's a good way to say this? I am enthused to play it at some point.
I definitely think you should. And once again,
I just don't listen to you anyway, so whatever your recommendation is, I just do the opposite.
Again, it's hard to... for a game this short, I would never say it's not worth your time. Try it out. If you don't like it, whatever, but
But not worth a buy.
Well, no, I think it's worth a buy. I mean,
played it on Game Pass, didn't you?
I played it on Game Pass, so I didn't...
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
if you're on Game Pass, it's not like you really lost anything.
Yeah, I think it was kind of surprising to see it come to Xbox because it was one of those titles where for the longest time it was pushed as a PlayStation 5 game, and then right when it came out, it was nope, it's for everything. And I don't know. I think it's mainly just because it got shown at a bunch of PlayStation-oriented events.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they just got a marketing deal with them where that's where they would advertise it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I guess that's all I got. I mean, once again, if you like Kurosawa, if you like these type of games, the game definitely has some really cool aesthetics, and it's cool if you just like that type of thing. I definitely think you could have some enjoyment out of it.
What about you, JC? Are you gonna play this game?
No. I'm gonna
This
watch
was the chance
someone
for your
play
gimmick.
it. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Am I going to play this game? Although I could actually answer this one.
Someday.
Said, Outlook good. Outlook good.
Oh,
No.
okay. No.
Probably
You're
not.
debunking the 8-ball already? Oh, no.
But this one I have a true opinion on. I would watch someone play this because it is picturesque. I don't think I would personally go for this one though.
Yeah.
So, ChazmaN, I'm gonna watch you play it.
Have you finished your live stream of it already? Are you done?
Mm-hmm. I'm done with it.
All right.
Again, I just think like I got the bad ending and a couple of the decisions I made. I didn't think the decisions I made were that evil, but somehow I got a bad ending.
Bad evil. I only murdered half the city, and some of the women and children.
No,
hey, Anakin Skywalker.
No, some of the listen.
Got some younglings.
All I killed was some of the students. No, some of the decisions were definitely like. It's just like, what is your reason for continuing on? And it was like one of the main things was like, are you continuing on for love, for duty, or for yourself? And I was just like,
for me.
and then
for the master.
For the master. And it's just like the end of the game is like, you lose. And I'm just like, oh.
Oh, so you learned nothing about yourself or any higher levels of morality.
I just learned I didn't like the game. I didn't learn anything about myself.
All right, well, good for you.
I guess one other thing, if you really like people screaming in agony, like, this is your game.
Yeah.
Because, like, literally everything you're doing, there's always someone in the background that's like, I don't know. That's a large part of this game is like...
That's already like the soundtrack to my life, so, right up my alley.